In Amazon's early days, Jeff Bezos's partner scammed him out of $2 million. 25 years later, his revenge was worth $180 billion. This is one of the most ruthless revenge stories in business history. The story of how 30-year-old Jeff Bezos was deceived in 1994 and how he turned this betrayal into an unforgettable revenge years later. In the summer of 1994, Jeff Bezos had quit his prestigious job on Wall Street and moved to Seattle with a crazy dream about the future of the internet. He had a business plan, a small garage, and an endless dream to build the world's largest online bookstore. But he had one problem: he had no money. When Bezos's college friend David Morrison learned about this situation, he saw an opportunity. Morrison was an experienced entrepreneur in the tech sector at the time, had founded and exited several startups, and had a strong network. He was the perfect partner for Bezos. "Jeff, this internet thing is interesting but very risky," Morrison said during their first meeting in Seattle. "You handle the technology side, I'll handle the financial side." Bezos was thrilled. Finally, someone who knew the business wanted to work with him. Morrison's plan was simple. He would buy 50% of Bezos's shares for $2 million, and in return take on all financing and business development responsibilities. On paper, it looked fair. "Jeff, you're a visionary man, but you don't know the business world," Morrison said while signing the contract. "I'm completing what you lack. Together we'll make Amazon a big company." Bezos signed, making the biggest mistake of his life. The first 6 months, everything went normally. Morrison actually found investors, handled the office setup, arranged for the first employees to be hired. They bought the Amazon.com domain and set up the first website. But then strange things started happening. The investors Morrison found only wanted to meet with him. Bezos wasn't invited to meetings. He was only asked to prepare technical details. "Jeff, you develop the product. Leave the business part to me," Morrison kept saying. In July 1994, Bezos voiced his discomfort. "David, I founded this company. Why are you making all the important decisions?" Morrison's response was cold. "Because the money is mine. You're just a technician, Jeff. I see the big picture." That's when Bezos understood. He had been deceived. In August 1994, Morrison made a sudden move. He called a board meeting and presented Bezos with a shocking offer. "Jeff, I've decided to buy out Amazon. I'm offering you $500,000 for your remaining 50% share. Take it or leave." Bezos was stunned. He was being kicked out of the company he founded. "David, this company is my dream. You just put in money. Dreams don't pay, Jeff. Facts matter. And the fact is, without me, you can't get anywhere." Morrison's lawyers had prepared everything. There were clauses in small print in the contract, terms that Bezos had missed. Legally, it was Morrison's right. Bezos was left between two choices: take the $500,000 and leave, or go to court and fight for years. That night, Bezos sat alone in his garage office. Around him were boxes, computers, memories from Amazon's early days. Morrison's last words echoed in his ears. "The internet will never be a real business, Jeff. You're just dreaming." But Bezos didn't give up. The next morning he called Morrison. "I accept the offer. I'm selling my shares for $500,000. Morrison was celebrating his victory. "Smart decision, Jeff. Now go find yourself a real job." But Bezos had a plan. With $500,000, he rented a small office in Seattle. He founded his new company, Cadabra Inc. Then he changed the name, Amazon.com. Wait a minute, you might say, didn't Morrison take the Amazon name? This is where Bezos's genius was shown. Morrison had taken the Amazon name, but only for book sales. Bezos was thinking bigger. He would build a platform that sold everything. In 1995, Bezos founded his new Amazon. This time he had no partner. He trusted no one. He borrowed $300,000 from his family, maxed out his credit cards. When Morrison learned about this situation, he laughed. "Jeff is still chasing dreams. There can't be two Amazons." But Morrison was wrong. Bezos's Amazon was different. It sold not just books but CDs, electronics, household items. He focused on customer experience. He perfected every detail. In 1997, Amazon went public. On the first day, the stock price increased 54%. Bezos became a millionaire. Morrison's Amazon, however, went bankrupt. His narrow vision, focused only on selling books, killed it. It went bankrupt in 19... But the real revenge hadn't started yet. In the 2000s, Bezos's Amazon conquered the world. Music, movies, electronics, clothing, food, it sold everything. He founded Amazon Web Services, invented cloud computing. He launched the Prime membership system. Morrison, meanwhile, was working at a small consulting firm. He was watching the success of the man he once called a visionless technician on television. In 2010, Morrison gathered courage and sent an email to Bezos. "Jeff, I apologize for what happened in the past. Maybe there could be a position for me at Amazon." Bezos's response was one line: "Sorry, David, we don't need visionless entrepreneurs." In 2018, Amazon's value exceeded $1 trillion. Bezos became the world's richest man. His net worth reached $180 billion. Morrison had retired. He was living in a small house in Arizona trying to get by on his retirement pension. That year, a local journalist interviewed Morrison. "Is it true that you knew Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon?" Morrison's answer was full of pain. "Yes, I knew him. I scammed him out of $2 million. Now he's worth $180 billion. The biggest mistake of my life." In 2019, Morrison had a heart attack. While lying in the hospital, he was waiting for medicines he ordered from Amazon Prime. The irony was complete, but Bezos's revenge wasn't just financial. In 2020, Morrison's son David Jr. graduated from university. He was a good engineer, looking for work in the tech sector. His biggest dream was to work at Amazon. He applied to Amazon. To avoid seeing his father's name on his CV, he had changed his name. He passed the interviews, was about to be hired. In the final signing stage, the HR department did a routine check. David Jr.'s real identity was revealed. The application was rejected. Reason: not compatible with company policies. David Jr. called his father crying. "Dad, what did you do? I can't work at Amazon because of you." That day, Morrison understood. Bezos's revenge wasn't limited to just him. His family was also affected. But Bezos wasn't finished yet. In 2021, Morrison fell into financial trouble. His pension fund was insufficient. He had a mortgage. He became desperate and started selling his rare items. The first thing he sold were Amazon documents from 1994, signed contracts, business plans, photos from the early days. These were historical items that could be sold expensively to collectors. He put them on eBay. Within a few hours, offers started coming. The highest offer was $50,000, but the auction was suddenly canceled. A message came from eBay: "Your product has been removed due to copyright infringement." Morrison understood. Amazon's legal department had taken action. The documents from the past belonged to Amazon, not him. He had lost his last trump card too. In 2022, Morrison's health problems increased. He needed expensive treatment, but insurance didn't cover it. He started a GoFundMe campaign, "Help Amazon's founding partner." The campaign went viral, but for the wrong reasons. People were lynching Morrison. Comments were pouring in saying, "The man who tried to scam Bezos is now asking for help." The campaign was closed after 3 days. A total of $247 had been collected. In 2023, Morrison started working at a local coffee shop. At 78 years old, he stands 6 hours a day, serving coffee to customers. One day he heard a familiar voice. A customer who came to the coffee shop was talking about Amazon's new products. "Bezos is really a genius. No one can be as visionary as him." Morrison smiled and handed over the coffee. The customer didn't recognize him. That same evening, sitting at home, Morrison looked at old photos. A photo from 1994. He and Bezos were smiling together in Amazon's first office. In that photo, Morrison looked powerful, confident. Bezos, on the other hand, looked young, excited but inexperienced. Now Bezos was even founding companies in space. Blue Origin, Washington Post, billions of dollars in investments. Morrison was working at a coffee shop. In 2024, Morrison's grandson asked him, "Grandpa, did you really found Amazon?" Morrison couldn't answer. Technically it was true. He had founded the first Amazon, but that Amazon had long since died. The real Amazon was Bezos's revenge. "My grandson," Morrison said, "sometimes in life our biggest mistake is to belittle the people we want to see small. I belittled Jeff, and he made me pay for it for the rest of my life." Bezos's revenge wasn't just money. It was to forget Morrison, ignore him, make him insignificant, and he had succeeded in that. Jeff Bezos is one of the most powerful people in the world today. Morrison is a coffee shop employee. In 1994, Morrison had told Bezos, "You're just dreaming." In 2024, those dreams had become a $1.5 trillion empire. Sometimes the greatest revenge is being successful. Sometimes it's condemning the other side to live with their own mistakes. Jeff Bezos did both. In Amazon's early days, his partner had scammed him out of $2 million. 30 years later, his revenge was worth $1.5 trillion. And the most beautiful part, Morrison is still alive and sees this revenge every day.